So I just want to go through how unique of an opportunity it is using Grasshopper to make a simple modification. So let's say your design professor, critic, whoever it is, comes to you and says, you know, this system that you've developed just looks really regular and boring. You know, it looks too similar, even though you have some variability in there, and you know, you can kind of modify it and extend everything to the ends, and it, you know, it generally looks like it's pretty random, but it's not all that exciting yet. I think what you need is variable aperture sizes, right? That's what you were saying. If you could generate an aperture size that's different. Well, the cool thing is we can just isolate in Grasshopper, isolate a particular moment and insert an idea, right? So I showed you how to do dynamic scaling. And all we have to do with this very, very large definition is insert a dynamic scale to that component, and everything else that comes to follow will remap. So that particular panel component happens to be right in here. So all this stuff at the end is going to remap around it when I change the connection from here to here. So all I've got to do is kind of just separate them a little bit and then have at it. So I'm just going to do a simple scaling modification. So I'll go to transform, affine, and scale. And the geometry I'm going to scale is this. And the center points are going to have to be the centers of each of the individual surfaces, which would be these. And then we need a scale factor. So the scale factor is just going to be, we could do it random. I've been using a lot of randoms in this one just to show you as a general idea, but usually you'd have some logic to what sizes you have. But I'm going to just drop in scale size of 2, scale size of 1 and 0.5 and 1.25 and 0.25. Okay, so I've got 5 here. I'll turn that into multi-line data, and I'm just going to do a repeat data set sequence repeat data, which is going to require a list length measured off of how many surfaces there are. So the data is this, the list length is that, and this becomes my list of scale factors, which I can then plug into. Ooh, 2 is going to be way too big, sorry. Let me reduce that. 1 point, I'll do 0.75. Maybe 1.5. Get a couple of big ones in there. And then all I have to do is just override that G connection, so geometry becomes modified geometry, gets plugged in, and it'll recalculate everything around it. So let me turn off the old stuff. And there you have it. So, you know, generally speaking, there's a lot of power in, you guys haven't seen a very large definition yet, but there's a lot of power in defining a fully parametric string. So, any questions? I shouldn't have said string. String is a bit misleading, but fully parametric definition. Anyway, let's talk about what we're doing today.